are kicking it off in Yemen with a photo that tells you everything that you need to know. The official military account of the Houthis posted an image to X, proudly showing themselves burning American food products, while calling on the entire world to do the same. Yes, Yemen is starving, but do the Houthis care? Not really. According to the United Nations and the World Food Program, over 17 million people in Yemen, including 2.2 million children, are currently facing acute food insecurity. It's one of the worst famines in the entire world. A civil war ongoing since 2015 between the Houthi forces and the Saudi-backed government, which, of course, doesn't include the U.S. or any Jews, so you won't hear about it, has devastated Yemen's infrastructure, destroying supply chains and displacing almost 5 million people. But instead of feeding their people, the Houthis are burning the little food that they have left because their hatred for America is stronger than their love for their own children. The Houthi slogan, "Death to America, death to Israel, curse upon the Jews, and victory to Islam," seems to forget that in order for Islam to win, you actually have to have some Muslims left over. You can't just call it a win if you single-handedly starved your country to death. Meanwhile, over in Afghanistan, the Taliban is getting lonely. A Taliban-run account on X, which somehow remains active despite their status as a terrorist organization, albeit very entertaining, posted a new video showing an enormous military arsenal. Tanks, helicopters, armored vehicles, ATVs, it's like real-life video games. Almost all of it was left behind by the Biden administration during the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021. In February, President Trump publicly demanded that the Taliban return the over $7 billion worth of U.S. military equipment that they now possess. But not surprisingly, the Taliban didn't even bother responding. Today, they are stronger and better equipped than ever before, thanks to an American retreat that handed them a free arsenal. It's not really news, but I saw that on X, and I figured that you might as well want to see it. Now, some real news. The hand of God has struck in southern Iran. At the Bandar Abbas port, Iran's largest commercial port, a massive explosion ripped through a storage facility. At least 28 people were killed and over 1,000 injured, though that number is very likely to rise. You know something fishy is going on because Iran said it was just an accident, a simple mishandling of chemicals. Now, what were those chemicals? An Iranian source told the New York Times that those chemicals were actually, let me get this straight, sodium perchlorate, a chemical used to make solid fuel for missiles. So no wonder Iran wants everyone to just look the other way. Both sensitive and embarrassing. This being a direct hit on Iran's military capabilities in a civilian port, completely devastating a key component of their missile program. Israel has claimed no responsibility, and Iran denies that any military components were present on site. No human hand was needed. God is Israel's greatest weapon. And just like that, he exposed both Iran's lack of care for civilians, storing sensitive explosives in civilian areas, and also took out a large cache of weaponry simultaneously. Amazing. Here in Israel, one of the hottest political issues is once again at center stage, the military draft of Haredi Yeshiva students. Today, the High Court of Justice issued a provisional order demanding that the government explain why it has failed to conscript enough ultra-Orthodox students to meet the Army's needs. Since July 2024, the IDF has sent out nearly 19,000 draft orders to Haredi men, and only 2% enlisted. There are currently around 70,000 ultra-Orthodox yeshiva students eligible for service, almost none of whom are serving. Meanwhile, the IDF says it desperately needs 12,000 more soldiers, including 7,000 combat troops to maintain operational strength. Naftali Bennett directly blamed Netanyahu today, saying that Israel's stumbling in Gaza is due to the shortage of soldiers, and warning that the IDF is being stretched beyond its limits. Bennett, who himself is an Orthodox Jew, is an interesting mouthpiece for this particular bill. The IDF still has not reformed their operations to receive Haredi Jews to service. The Haredi Jews don't want their kids being exposed to women or less time studying and the secular atmosphere that has been responsible for so many religious people leaving Orthodox Judaism. The Torah Judaism Party said, quote, "The High Court is forcibly pushing for an unnecessary clash between the Haredi public and the government, and instead of acting responsibly and seeking a unifying solution, it chooses to coerce and provoke." Bennett argued that if just 1/5 of Haredim would draft, it would relieve the burden from exhausted reservists and help Israel achieve victory. The court has given the government until June 24th to respond. And finally, in a continuation of a bizarre story, Israeli police have recovered the 4 rare parrots stolen from a northern Israeli zoo. The birds were smuggled across the Green Line into the Palestinian town of Tulkarm. Originally, this was thought to be a professional operation. The Parrots were part of a larger wave of bird thefts targeting Israel's top zoos. In total, the stolen parrots are valued at around 250,000 shekel, or $69,000. Police believe the same Arab trafficking gang was responsible for both the break-in in Kibbutz Beit Zera's Jungle Fund Zoo and a massive theft from Jerusalem's Biblical Zoo. The birds have now been safely returned to Israeli authorities for care and rehabilitation. Animal trafficking across the Arab-Israeli world remains a serious issue, one that the Israeli police didn't really expect to be dealing with. So there you have it, a fresh week with infinite possibilities. Just a reminder to keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on, but make sure to get outside, take some time to relax, don't let all this stuff get to your head. As we see with Iran, God is controlling the show, and in 1 second, boom, your entire rocket arsenal might just go up in flames. So don't ever lose hope. Let's have a great week. For JFeed.com, this has been Overnight Israel. Please make sure to like, comment, and share this video. It's a small action for you, and it really helps us grow and stay motivated. I'm Simcha Brodsky. Catch you tomorrow.